It's about that time of the year, Orange fans and all basketball fans, as this is the week when March Madness really kicks into gear. Although it started last week with some of the lower conference tournaments, this is the time to separate the men from the boys, especially tomorrow, because Syracuse pretty much now has its back against the wall. They play at noon tomorrow against Pittsburgh in the ACC Tournament. Of course, today's the first round of it with the lower seeds playing. But the top 4 seeds in the ACC Tournament, guess what? They're like the Big East Tournament a few years ago. They have double byes. If there's 16 teams, you gotta wonder, how come they have double byes? How come they can't extend the first round over 2 days? Play 4 games one day, 4 games the next. Everybody has the same hard road to the conference tournament championship. Oh well, the powers that be don't want it that way. And of course, if we get past Pitt, guess who lurks? North Carolina. It'll be a hard road for the Orange, because guess what? They are definitely now on the bubble, especially taking a poop last week with losses to North Carolina and inexplicably to Florida State on Saturday. How can you lose to the Seminoles? Although it was on the Seminoles' home court. Now Syracuse has their work cut out for them, especially if they want to get in. Joe Lunardi of Bracketology for ESPN, he has them in one of those play-in games to get into the round of 64. He has Syracuse as an 11th seed. Thing is, right now, to me, Syracuse is barely on the outside looking in. They beat Pitt, maybe they're in. They lose to Pitt. You know what? I'm gonna be talking next week about the Cuse playing in the NIT. Boy, that would be a big come down for the team that won the Battle for Atlantis tournament earlier this year, don't you think? Of course, this has been a weird year for Syracuse basketball anyway. The 9-game suspension for Boeheim, them going 4-5 when Mike Hopkins was the coach. And it's just seemed to be a year of inconsistency for the Orange, with this cloud of the NCAA hanging over their head. Even though it was decided, guess what? Looks like its effect had an effect on the psyche of the Orange. Boy, you gotta wonder, this is a fight for survival. But you know how I am. We gotta take it, Orange. We gotta go through the ACC tournament if we're gonna maybe be in the big dance. And speaking of big dance, what's this? We now got another postseason tournament to worry about. Heck, we already got the NCAA, the NIT, the CBI, the College Basketball Invitational, and the CIT, the College Insider Tournament. Now we've got the Vegas 16. And you know what? Supposedly it's a tournament that's going to take place at Mandalay Bay in Las Vegas. Do we really need more postseason tournaments, guys? How many teams are going to be eligible for postseason play? Well, seems as though now we got a glut for ones who like to keep brackets. Because, hey, we got brackets for all 5 tournaments now. You gotta wonder who's eligible. If anybody doesn't like being in the NIT, do they want to be going to the Vegas 16? Oh, who likes to go to Sin City to watch some basketball? I don't know. But there's too many tournaments, guys. It used to be just the NCAA and the NIT. Of course, money talks, don't you think? And while I'm on the subject of sports, the sheriff, I should say, of course he could be called a general, decided to call it a career. Yes, after 18 years of slinging balls all over the football field, Peyton Manning called it a career. You know what? I think it was warranted. You know, he holds every record pretty much in the NFL record book. He has been a consummate leader, a meticulous planner, and everything. But you know, how much more can somebody's body take? 18 years. He's 39. Plus, he came off of a neck injury 4 years ago. And also, he had a problem with his foot this year. And the thing is, if you looked at the Super Bowl, he didn't exactly look like the Peyton Manning of years before. You know, the LA Rams were definitely thinking, because they moved back to LA, of maybe bringing Manning into play. Well, thing is, you wonder how much left the sheriff had in the tank. But the thing is, apparently the sheriff decided it's time to hang up his badge, hang up his guns. And of course, now he's got this thing that supposedly happened at Tennessee hanging over his head. Thing is, at Tennessee, he was a pretty darn good quarterback. Hell, on ESPN Classic, they sometimes air some of those games when he was a Tennessee Volunteer. Of course, Syracuse just missed playing Peyton Manning by 1 year. Hell, we got T. Martin, and we got a nice shootout of a game to start the 1998 season. Oh well, can't have everything. Of course, if he had one more year of eligibility, we could have been playing Peyton Manning and Tom Brady in successive weeks. Heck, we kicked Tom Brady's ass while he was at Michigan. But overall, I'm getting off on a tangent. You know what? You had a brilliant career, Peyton Manning. You're going into the Hall of Fame. Good riddance, Sheriff. Well, of course, I'm going from Peyton Manning to hearing something that was a little bit surprising. Maria Sharapova saying that she flunked a drug test for the Australian Open. Of course, she has been the most photogenic tennis star probably of the last 10-15 years or so. Of course, ever since the other one, Anna Kournikova, decided that modeling and looking good was more important than playing tennis. But the thing is, supposedly Sharapova tested positive for a drug that just this year the World Anti-Doping Agency decided to put on the ban list because it could be used as a stimulant. Well, the thing is, Sharapova, I guess the World Anti-Doping Agency sent out an email, but Sharapova supposedly didn't read it. Well, that was her mistake. Of course, the way it looked to me, hey, she said, oh, I'm looking at suspension and that. If she didn't know, hey, how could she be suspended or whatever? She didn't know, but now it looks like maybe there was a chance for her to know, but she didn't know, Hey, Sharapova, you gotta do your due diligence when you do these things. And of course, what's gonna be your reaction when the WTA hands out what is gonna be your punishment? Are you gonna scream like you do when you return balls? Heck, you gotta wear earplugs when Maria Sharapova hits a ball or when Venus Williams hits a ball. Of course, you know what happens when Venus or Serena Williams hit a ball. You have to split, if you know what I mean. Oh well, the thing is, you're one of the most photogenic. It always is pretty cool watching you. But you know what? Do your due diligence, Miss Sharapova. Heck, we like to see you play. Last but not least, I'm going to talk about something that's been going on in Wayne County. As apparently there's been a little talk about what's going on with the Wayne County Sheriff's Department. When Lyons dissolved, it dissolved its police force, and the Wayne County Sheriff's Department was supposed to absorb the Lyons police officers. But so far, only 2 of the 8 police officers for Lyons have become Wayne County Sheriff's deputies. Apparently, there's been a few shenanigans going on with Wayne County and also the Sheriff's Department. Thing is, you think that they made false promises and everything? Heck, when you make this promise and when you do stuff to try to absorb the officers, you better do it. Because up there in Wayne County, that with the sheriff, that could be the verts that can happen. Of course, maybe Mr. Stenberg, our former sheriff, or our new sheriff, Tim One Hand Loose and I'll be satisfied, would have something to say about it. Well, I'd like to hear what both Stenberg and Loose have to say about what Mr. Verts is doing. We'll see. I'm Ken Haas, and those are my rants for this week.